Hello everyone, Tutorly here, and in this video we're going to be covering factoring and expanding. So factoring and expanding goes under quadratic relations, and in this video we'll be covering how to factorize a standard form quadratic equation and how to expand a factored form quadratic equation. And these skills are very essential, but they can also be quite difficult. So to start, we're going to start with expanding, and here you can see two brackets and two terms, and it's a factored form equation, and we're going to expand this. So the way we would expand this is what we're going to do is called the FOIL method, where we're basically going to take the first term of this first bracket, 3x, multiply it by this first term and the second term, and then take this first term and multiply it by take 6, which is the second term, and multiply it by x, which is our second term, and multiply it by our second term here. So when we do this, we'll start here. 3x times x is 3x squared, and then 3x times negative 9 is minus 27x, and then 6 times x is 6x, and finally 6 times negative 9 is negative 54. Now we can combine our like terms, here being negative 27x and 6x, which gives us 3x squared minus 21x minus 54. And this is our answer. It's pretty simple, but essentially you take your first term, multiply it by both terms in the other bracket, and do the same for your second term in the first bracket, and combine your like terms. I'll show one more example. Yes. So if we had 5x plus 1, and we had negative 3x minus 7. So here we do the same thing. We're going to multiply 5x by these two terms. This gives us negative 15x squared times negative 35x. Then we do the same thing here. 1 times negative 3x is negative 3x, and 1 times negative 7 is negative 7. Now we combine our like terms here, so it'd be 15x squared. Negative 35x and negative 3x will be negative 38x minus 7. This would be our answer. So it's pretty simple, but essentially you take your first term, multiply it by this, and then do the same for your second term, and combine your like terms to get your standard form equation. Now what we're going to do is do some factoring, which is, for most, I would say, more difficult. So let's say we had an equation such as x squared plus 8x plus 15. Now, there's many different ways to factorize based on the equation that we're given. So in this case, we're given a standard trinomial. As the reason we call this a standard trinomial is there's three terms, and there's no coefficient with the x squared. If there was a coefficient, we would call it a complex trinomial. And I will show how to do both. So for this, it's very simple what we do when we have a normal trinomial. What we do is, this is our A term, this is our B, and this is our C. So what we want to do is find two numbers that when added together equal B, and when multiplied equal C. In this case, it would be 8, and in this case it would be 15. So what two numbers when added equal 8 and when multiplied equal 15? We can go through the factors of each, right? And when we do this, the one that will probably you get is 3 and 5. as 3 times 5 is 15 and 3 plus 5 is 8. So you can go through the factors of 15. So 1 and 5, well, sorry, 1 and 15, that wouldn't work. The next one is 3 and 5, which does work. So let's put this 3 plus 5 equals 8, and 3 times 5 equals 15. And by doing this, these are our terms, right? And it's much more complex for a complex trinomial because there are additional steps involved, which I will show. But for these are essentially our um, zeros, which is what we call them, right? And this is our answer. And how we would do now write this is we would open a bracket and say x plus 3 and x plus 5. Now, this is our answer. And if you wanted to double check your answer, we could use the FOIL method. So x squared plus 5x plus 3x plus 15. And there we go. The same equation here we have here. So whenever you have a normal trinomial, just find two numbers that when added equal your b term, when multiplied equal your c term, and those are your factors you would write like this. Now we're going to do a complex trinomial. So let's do 2x squared plus 11x plus 15. So now what we would do here is kind of similar, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply the coefficient 2x with our c term. So we would do 2 times 15, which equals 30. Now what we want to do is find two numbers when multiplied equal 30, but when added equal 11. So let's go through the factors of 30. 1 and 30 wouldn't work. 2 and 15 wouldn't work. Um, 3 and 10 wouldn't work. By going through the negatives, they also wouldn't work. So if you had -2 and 15, no, that wouldn't work. But the next one that would work would be 6 and 5, because 6 times 5 is 30, but 6 plus 5 is also 11. So now that we have these two numbers, we're going to rewrite this by doing 2x squared plus 5x plus 6x plus 15. And now we're going to factor by grouping. And the way we're going to do it is we have four terms here, and we're going to split this into two like this. So now we're going to first look at this first bracket and take out our common terms, right? We want to simplify it, right? So we see it's 2x squared plus 5x. The only common term here would be x. So we can divide by x, which would mean put x on the outside. And now this would be 2x plus 5. Over here, we have 6x plus 15. Our common term here would be 3. So we put 3 here. This would be 2x, and then this would be 5. So plus 5. So now you may be thinking we're done here, but we're not, because these are the same bracket, and that's only one of our zeros. To get the other one, it's the coefficients of the other two terms. So the answer here would be 2x plus 5 and x plus 3. This would be our answer. To double check this, we could do the same thing and do the FOIL method. So if we wanted to double check this, it is This one was x plus 3. So now we will be doing the FOIL method. So we're going to start with 2x multiplied by x, which is 2x squared, times 3 would be 6x. 5 times this is 5x, and that 5 times 3 is 15. Combine the like terms, you get, which was the equation that we started with. So this is how you factorize both normal trinomials and complex trinomials. There are other ways to factor based on the equation we're given, but these are probably two of the most common and one of the most important ways to factorize. So I hope you all found this video lesson useful on expanding and factoring. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me through our website. And with that, have a great day.